I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and this is Quotes and Quips. Today, words of wisdom from Aristotle. Quotes and Quips is brought to you by my website, FletcherRhoden.com. That's where you'll find links to my Amazon authors page, where you can download my books in the various formats, including audiobook, and a link to my Spotify artist page, where you can download my music in its various subgenres. I've got new music for 2024. You can also download my music from anywhere in the internet. Wherever you like to download your favorite music, you can download mine. But at my website, there's free music you can get only there and other fun stuff. So check it out. Okay, let's see. Aristotle tells us knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Well, okay, let's look at that. Now, to me, it echoes the biblical scripture that I'm gonna paraphrase, and that's, remove the log from your own eye before you criticize the speck in your neighbor's eye. Too many people are too interested in doling out their wisdom on everybody else without really considering their own weaknesses and foibles. Oh, sure, everybody can proselytize on the weakness of the other guy or gal, on their flaw, on their fault, on their wrong. But, Jesus also told us that it was only he who was without sin who could cast the first stone. And none of us are without sin. So it's not that you can't have a reason in your brain and make assessments and make judgments as to qualities of character and the like. But these curiosities should really be turned inward first. We all make assessments of other people. That's part of life. You should. You should be aware of the people with whom you are interacting. And one ought not be blithe about it, because there are dangerous people out there. But first, turn that critical eye inward. First. Now, I know a lot of people really are much more self-critical than they admit. People like to think narcissists love themselves, but they don't. Narcissists hate themselves. They're very self-critical. That's why they're so critical of everybody else, in order that they might not have to criticize themselves as much as they are compelled to do. So narcissism is not so much self-love as people think it is. But it is an unwillingness to really examine oneself and to act constructively based on that analysis. They say a disorder, a personality disorder, occurs when a person either fails to recognize their own weaknesses, or they recognize those weaknesses and will not change them. Then a group of behaviors becomes a disorder, when there is an intellectual defeatism about it. It's either fatalism or defeatism. Now, what Aristotle reminds us is that if you want to really understand anyone else or anything else in the world, you have to first face down that question mark that you see in the mirror every day. How can you possibly understand people when you don't truly understand the person you should know best? The person you spend the most time with in the world. The person with whom you have more conversations than anyone else. The person who knows you better than you allow anyone to know you. How do you resist having a full and complete understanding of this person, and then presume to go on and manufacture complete understandings of others and then judge them. You can't. You cannot. Aristotle tells us you can't. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. But the reason this is such a quippable quote is that this is the one thing so many people so often forego, and to their detriment, and to the detriment of the world at large, because this creates misunderstandings. When you have a lack of understanding of others, then the only thing you can have is misunderstanding. Lacking understanding, one has misunderstanding. Doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. So, are you contributing to the overall malaise of misunderstanding and misinformation? Or are you bringing wisdom to the table? If you are, then you must surely have gotten it by knowing yourself first. Only then can you turn that judgmental eye outward, because you haven't earned it. Because you can't possibly understand the things you're saying. Because you cannot understand that person which you see the very first thing in the morning and the very last thing at night. And probably that face which you see more than any other face in your life, your own. Aristotle tells us, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Do you agree? Well, it's food for thought, as you'll get every week here on Quotes and Quips with Fletcher Rhoden. It's on this YouTube channel every week, Monday at noon. I leave them up, so you can always catch a rerun. Watch reruns of last year's show, Tracking the Lone Wolf, on its own YouTube channel, right here on YouTube. Go to my website, check out my books and my music. Tune in for more, and until then, bye, Mary.